Hey guys, it's Bub here, and in this video we're taking a look at something that we haven't taken a look at in a while. This is Tiny10 23H2. As far as I'm aware, this is the last build of Tiny10 that NTDEV put out before purely switching to the Tiny11 Builder. This was released back actually at the end of 2023, and it's, like I said, the last version of Tiny10. We previously took a look at the second to last version of Tiny10 on this channel, but that was well over a year ago as we've switched our focus to Tiny11. So I'm eager to see. First of all, it's been such a long time since we've looked at this. I'm eager to take a look back at Windows 10, see kind of what things look like and what's new between this build of Tiny10 and the previous one. Like I said, any modern Tiny builds, you're to use the Tiny11 Builder, which will let you create a custom ISO from an official Windows ISO. This one is the last official build of Tiny10. And against popular belief, it is not Windows 10 23H2 because that version does not exist. And apparently it is also not version 22H2. I believe this is Windows 10 21H2. So right now nothing looks too out of the ordinary in the installer. It looks like our typical Windows 10 installer. I really am missing that new installer that Windows 11 comes with. But here we are. We are now copying files and installing Tiny10. Alright, and here we are. So we are now in the Windows 10 out-of-box experience. I've said this before and I said it again. I really love that NTDEV includes the out-of-box experience in his ISOs. I know a lot of other custom developers that we've taken a look at, they just use a post-install script. They don't actually let you go through the out-of-box experience. I personally love the fact that NTDEV keeps this in for the simple fact that it makes me feel like it's a more clean build. I'm going through the out-of-box experience. I get to pick my name, which will make it Tiny10. You know, it just makes me feel a little bit more safe. We even get to choose privacy settings, which I'm going to leave all that on because it is a virtual machine. And here we go. We are now getting into the desktop. Right, and here we are on the desktop of Tiny10. Before we go ahead and install VMware Tools, we're going to actually take a look at what the disk space and RAM utilization is. Wow, that's a little disappointing. 49.7 gigs free of 59.3. That means we're using about 10 gigabytes. Very disappointing. Tiny10 used to be a lot smaller than that. As for performance, we're using, typical Windows CPU usage, and we're using 600 megs, 700 megs out of a gig. I gave this VM 1 gig of RAM on purpose just to see how Tiny10 would handle it, and it's handling it okay, but you don't have much room to do, you have like 300 megs to do other things. That's not great. So now that we've taken a look at that, we're going to install VMware Tools for a bit of a better viewing experience for you guys. Alright, and here we are with VMware Tools installed. So let's take a look at this OS and see what Tiny10 brings, because I know with the Tiny11 Builder it has changed some things. First of all, like looking at these desktop icons here, by default we have Control Panel on the desktop, Recycle Bin, this PC, as well as a Tiny10 home folder. We don't get these on the latest builds of Tiny11 that you can make through the Tiny11 Builder. On the taskbar we have our Show Desktop button, which is something I'm mad that Microsoft has disabled by default on Windows 11 now. We have our Action Center. Unfortunately with Tiny10 though, it still looks like we get, this isn't bloatware, they're adding a new feature. It looks like a different keyboard layout. We have our clock, calendar, of course our volume controls, network controls. In the system tray we have, ignoring VMware Tools because we installed that, Bluetooth, USB, as well as the Windows security. Unlike other builds that aren't made by NTDEV, I'm glad that NTDEV has opted to keep Windows security. As someone who works in security and networking every day, this is something that, really just makes me mad when other developers don't include Windows security. Better than nothing. On the left side of the taskbar, we have our Action Center, or task view rather. We have our search bar, which doesn't, surprisingly, search the internet, which is how Windows search should be. It should not search the internet when I type, it should just search my system. And then we have the Start menu, which does not have any pinned apps by default, but I do believe we can pin them, yes, but because it was like that, we're going to unpin and go back to the way it was. We do have Microsoft Edge, which is a good turn from previous builds of Tiny10 where it didn't come with a web browser. We have our Settings apps, Windows Accessories, Windows Administrative Tools, Windows Ease of Access, Windows PowerShell, and Windows System. And that is all we have on this OS. Like I said, Tiny10 is very lightweight, as many of you know. It is definitely missing a lot of the components of Windows, but that's the point. It's supposed to be lightweight. But I'm very confused how it's supposed to be lightweight when it takes up 10 gigs of space. That's something that Tiny10 or NTDEV usually doesn't do, so I don't understand why this is a 10 gig install. Usually Tiny OSs are like 3 to 4, maybe 2 to 4. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised that it's this, like, the size of this is this large. Let's take a look at what version of Windows 11 this actually is, because I know that some people had said that they were a little concerned that the build number is 23H2 and then it wasn't actually 22H2 or something along those lines. As we can see here, this is Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC, which is one of the most debloated versions of Windows, on version 21H2. So I wonder if we'll ever see a version 22H2 of Tiny10. Probably not, because Windows 10 support is in less than a year. But that would be interesting to see a 22H2 build for, those really old legacy computers. If we click on Update and Security, we can see that it does appear like Windows Update is still an option, which is something that is available on later builds of Tiny10 and 11. But is it going to actually find any updates? Yep, it does appear like it is pulling updates, which is pretty cool. Although I was reading that some people were not able to update to 22H2, so it's probably missing some requirements to actually get that update to the latest version. But regardless, it can pull security updates. So that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.